Hi, this is Lisa Kelly, Notre Dame author and class of 1993, and you are watching the Two Irish Brothers show. Cheers and go Irish!
How's it going, everyone? I am ND Sean 45, and no, this is not an illusion.
No, not an illusion. And I am Irish Benjamin 57.
We are here together on camera, getting ready to bring you the recap from yesterday's game from Notre Dame and Purdue.
Yep.
As you guys can see, things look a little different right now. I moved the camera so that Ben and I could both fit in the picture. So I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Don't give me too much crap for the wrestling figures right there. I've had those since I was a kid, so that's sentimental value. But anyway, yesterday, Ben, it was your first ever Notre Dame game in person. How are you feeling?
Oh, I was so excited yesterday. I'm still excited. Absolutely incredible. It's been too long since I've been to a football game, because of COVID and all that. And so I'm excited. I was really excited yesterday, excited today, and excited that I got to witness my first ever Notre Dame game with a win. So can't complain too much about that.
You are 1-0, my friend.
Yep.
So I think the two Irish brothers being there yesterday brought us some luck. And, well, we'll get into all that. But first off, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Time to go down to the basement for some more hauntingly delicious Count Chocula cereal.
Don't look in the basement.
Eee, those eyes are looking at me. Think I'll get some fruity Frankenberry from the cupboard.
Don't look in the cupboard.
Oh, those eyes, they move.
Now the spooky, delicious part of your complete breakfast is even spookier.
Now Chocula's eyes really move. So did Frankenberry's.
Here's looking at you, kids.
Okay, there were a few glitches in that commercial, but man, that's a classic right there.
For sure.
I was 4 years old when that commercial came out, and you were an infant. How crazy is that?
And the crazier part about that commercial is the little girl that you saw in that commercial is actually Christina Ricci, popularly known as Wednesday Addams on the Addams Family. So kind of interesting to see her be a quote unquote scaredy cat in the commercial and then become the great Wednesday Addams.
Well, and she was also in Sleepy Hollow, another classic
yes.
horror film. But that's the theme for this video for the quote unquote sponsor is Halloween's right around the corner.
Yep,
it's going to get here before you know it. But Ben, let's get right into talking about yesterday's game. And by the way, I hope everybody can hear us okay. But yesterday was just a good old fashioned hard fought football game.
Yes. Yep, I think the rivalry aspect really came out in full force yesterday. Purdue played some angry football, but in the end, Notre Dame was able to take care of business.
Well, and what I really like too was we were definitely seeing some improvements all over the place. I mean, the defense played lights out, only gave up one touchdown yesterday.
Yep.
The offensive line was finally starting to get some push. We were able to open up that running game, and the offense performed very well. The only complaint that I had was there were two very bad drop passes, one by Joe Wilkins, the other by Braden Lindsey in the end zone. Yeah. And, when you make nice throws like that, those are catches that you have to take advantage of.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. The Braden Lindsey one hurt quite a bit. I mean, hit him right in the hands, and unfortunately it was a drop right in the end zone. And, 14 points basically left off the board with those two drops. I mean, granted, the other drop other than Lindsey's wasn't a touchdown drop, but definitely one that would have kept the drive going and potentially could have scored a touchdown, if you will. So you can't do that. I mean, you can't do that. I was watching last night after we got back from the game. I was watching some Georgia, South Carolina highlights, and Georgia had two passes just like the ones that we dropped in the Notre Dame game that they caught for touchdowns. So if you want to be on that level, those are the plays you got to make, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, I mean, of course, the game itself got off to a rough start. I mean, we were starting to see some of the regular things that we have been seeing through these first two games.
Rough offensive line play.
Jack Cohn getting sacked on the first drive. Purdue was starting to move the ball. Thankfully, that's where the defense stepped up big time. But we were afraid at first that this was going to be a long day, but that turned out not to be the case. I mean, it took us a while to break it open, but we finally did do it.
Kind of hammered away, if you will. No pun intended against the Boilermakers. But, yeah, we hammered away and finally got that breakthrough that we needed.
Yes, and we ended up winning this game by double digits, 14 to be exact. And it's a step in the right direction. I mean, there's still things that aren't perfect, but this was a big step forward yesterday, and that's what I'm really happy about to see.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Purdue was no slouch. People can say, "Oh, well, it's Purdue." Well, coming into this game, Purdue was having quite the offensive firepower that they had going. So, to say that the Notre Dame defense stepped up is a big thing, especially since we're getting into the rough meat and potatoes of the schedule, if you will, with Wisconsin coming up, Cincinnati, UNC. So, it's going to be
Virginia Tech.
We're going to have some defensive battles, and the defense is going to have to step up. Major kudos to the punt team. That punt where we fielded it on the 1 yard line was just absolutely incredible. I mean, if you want to get really technical, probably even the half yard line.
Yeah.
So you can't ask for much more than that.
Jay Bramblett had a great day yesterday.
That was beautiful. Also, before we get super far into it, the thoughts and prayers go out to that Purdue player,
David Bell, wide receiver,
Bell, who he got his, no pun intended, he got his bell rung on that play, and your head is not meant to bounce like that. And that was a pretty scary situation in the stadium. I don't know how much people saw on the actual broadcast, but in the stadium, it was pretty much you could hear a pin drop in that stadium. And very major kudos to the Notre Dame fan base, a huge standing ovation when he was actually able to get up and walk off on his own power. So we wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with him. Hopefully he can come back sooner rather than later. I don't know. I haven't heard any updates on his injury status.
No, neither have I.
But all I know is, and this might sound bad, but Ben, I told you in the stadium, you almost hope that it's just a concussion and not something not something like a broken neck or something like that. That'd be awful.
For sure. Yeah. No, you always hope for the best in that situation.
But sorry guys, my brother is trying to call me.
And also, just you push the rivalry to the side for a second when there's a situation like that. So.
And speaking of which, to the Purdue fan that showed up on our preview, I apologize for calling him Davis Bell. That was just a slip up on my part. I knew his name was David Bell. But when you're trying to think about so many things at once and multitask, sometimes you slip up. So I apologize for that. But no, going back to everything, you look at the numbers in this game. Now, Jack Cohn's passer percentage doesn't look the sexiest, only 15 of 31, but he still had 223 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Great day for him, despite the under 50% passing percentage. But the rushing game, this is what I like to see. Kyron Williams, he finally was able to burst out 91 yards on 12 carries with the 1 touchdown, an average of 7.6 yards per carry. Chris Tyree needs to pick it up. But still, he had 29 yards on the ground. Hopefully he can get better. But definitely the player of the game, Avery Davis. Yes, Avery Davis.
Yes.
120 yards on 5 catches, 24 yards a catch with the beautiful touchdown throw from Jack Cohn to Avery Davis with I think it went for 62 yards, 65 yards, somewhere there.
Something pretty insane.
Had him wide open. They connected, and Davis was off to the races. It was so beautiful. And then even Kyron Williams had a couple of catches, one that went long for a touchdown.
Yeah, and that one was incredible, absolutely incredible pass. Jack Cohn put that right on the money, threaded the needle, if you will, between 2 Purdue defenders, and Kyron just walked into the end zone, which was absolutely incredible. So yeah,
He could have speed walked into the end zone and
Yes,
still
but he
scored.
was so wide open at that point. Yeah.
But of course, the defense. We're looking at those stats right now. Kyle Hamilton. If this kid is not a top 5 or a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, whether he goes in after this season or after his senior season, he had a great performance. 7 tackles, 3 assisted tackles, the one big interception when Purdue was driving inside.
Yes.
I think it was inside the 15.
Yes. And one also, let's not forget about the beautiful tackle that he made that stopped Purdue on 4th and 1. That was behind the line of scrimmage. His speed is just absolutely insane. And this dude, like Sean said, he's going to be playing on Sundays for quite a long time if he continues this brand of football.
And then, of course, J.D. Bertrand, he kept up his great performances as of late. He had 5 tackles and 7 assists. Isaiah Pryor did as well. We didn't hear his – I mean, I guess we weren't really paying attention too well, but 5 tackles, 3 assists. Clarence Lewis, he stepped up big time. And I think – wasn't it him who batted the ball for
interception?
for DJ Brown to pick it off?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know it got batted, and DJ Brown finished off with the interception.
Nice little tip drill, and it was a good finish. So yeah, can't ask for much more than that.
No, but look, I brought up Jay Bertrand, Jay Bramblett on punting, 200, almost 300 yards, 298 yards on 7 punts, and of course the one on the end zone. So he had a great day punting.
Yes,
and we all know this is a game of inches.
Well, and special teams can help you win or lose ball games. So I mean,
exactly my point.
Just ask Alabama against Auburn a few years ago. I mean, so yeah, when you have a team and a unit that can play that kind of ball and small ball at that, you're headed in the right direction.
So overall, it was a really hard fought game. Ben and I sat it out in the ridiculous heat. I think it was like 92 degrees at game time, and you can look at my jersey and my hat. I was soaked in sweat.
Yeah, everybody was soaked in sweat. It was a green out, if you will, and a lot of people were wearing those the shirt, and this year's was green, the Kelly green, and 99% of the people wearing those shirts, they were just drenched in sweat. So it was a hot game, and of course, there's no shade in Notre Dame Stadium. It's just one big bowl. So
I wish
it was hot, and we were hot. I can only imagine some of the Purdue fans with them wearing black jerseys and stuff, because holy cow, it was hot.
I wish we were sitting on the let's see, what would it be? North, Touchdown Jesus North. So I wish we were sitting on the east side where the press box is, that where it's all nice and shady. Unfortunately, I think those tickets I think that's where they sit all the season ticket holders, isn't it?
You kind of got to either know somebody or be a season ticket holder.
Yeah, I wish we were sitting there, because it was all nice and cool over there. And but also, we were able to meet our good friend Lisa Kelly in person for the first time. Yep. And she is such a nice lady. And the only thing that sucks is we forgot to get a picture with her.
Yeah, well, we have more chances.
Oh, yeah. So, Lisa, if you're watching, it was such a pleasure to meet you in person and talk to you for a few minutes. It was awesome. You're a great friend. And we will definitely have you back on the show in the near future, maybe to do a preview or a recap with us. Yep. So, yeah, it was really awesome. And I don't know what else to add, Ben. It was just an awesome day yesterday.
Yeah,
we ate pretty well at the tailgate.
There's room for improvement always. The score doesn't show, some of the lopsidedness that could have been. Offensive line has to continue to get better. That's a given. The defense kind of fixed some of their holes and their problems this week, which was great to see. The only real complaint, I guess, from a fan standpoint, is just Tommy Rees and the play calling. It just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit yesterday. Seeing how
we're not calling for his head or anything, people, but he has to do a better job with the play calling. Take some more shots downfield. You got your speedsters on the outside. They're ready to beat the defenders.
Braden Lindsey, you look at his stats. No touchdowns, and he had not even 30 yards receiving. I mean, clearly he had the speed to beat that Purdue secondary, and same with Avery. Why didn't we do more of that? I don't know. It's just a head scratcher, and we kept running the ball right up the middle. And Tyree if the offensive line could block a little bit better, Tyree would have had a lot better numbers.
I hate saying
because
this.
he was getting gobbled up in the backfield time and time again. And same with Jack Cohn. Jack Cohn just didn't have enough time a lot of the time to pass. So if that's the case, then you got to change up the playbook a little bit and do some short, quick passes or some major, just throw it as far as you can and let the guy go run and get it. We're fans. So
yeah, I hate saying this, but I almost feel like we're wasting Chris Tyree at times.
yes, so do I.
But well, anyway, all I know is it was an awesome day yesterday. Was really tired from when we got back home. It was a long day.
It's a long day.
But
Yes.
but it's always well worth it. And just a couple things just to let everybody know. For starters, for the people who are confused out there, we have not been doing live streams. These have all been recorded videos, so you're not missing any live streams or anything like that to the people who've been asking about it. And number two, Ben will be here still for when we do the Wisconsin preview for next week. And so if you guys see it on Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm not sure when I'm going to release it, but yes, we're doing that right after this video. So if things change, like if there's a big injury update or something, then
unfortunately we miss it.
Yeah, unfortunately we miss it.
And that's why.
But we don't get a chance to do videos together often, so we're going to do that today as well.
Yes.
So, but Ben, anything else you'd like to add from yesterday? I
got nothing. It was an awesome experience. Notre Dame country is just a very, very magical place. And I know sometimes we overlook a lot of stuff, but I just can't tell everybody how proud I am to be part of Notre Dame Nation. So
it's awesome, man.
It's something special.
All right. Well, on that note, everyone, this is where we're going to wrap it up. So on that note, I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And as we always say, God bless, good afternoon in this case, and go Irish.
Go Irish.